the fallout from the latest release of the Jeffrey Epstein documents. They include communications between the rich and powerful, from the co-owner of an NFL team to billionaires like Elon Musk. And tonight, the newly released photos of Britain's former Prince Andrew. Here's ABC's investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, the fallout continues as new details emerge from the millions of newly released Justice Department records on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Hey guys, it's me here, Comrade Lavender, and I am back with another deep dive YouTube video topic. Today, I wanted to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein files and how we are ruled by billionaire pedophiles. But before we get started into today's YouTube video topic, all my related YouTube videos that I've made will be on the screen right now. So when you're done watching this video, if you want to check out my other videos, they will be on the screen right now. So let's get started into this video topic.
Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
With the release of these photos showing him crouched over a young woman, the date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment. Also in the documents, numerous unverified tips and unsubstantiated allegations against powerful figures in politics, finance, and entertainment, including President Trump.
The Justice Department on Friday released 3 million more pages of documents from its Jeffrey Epstein files. The tranche of documents, released as part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, includes about 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. Pizzagate is real people that believed there was an underground pedophile ring in the basement of a pizza parlor, and YouTube is compliant in hiding the disturbing truth. Anyone who posted a YouTube video talking about the Pizzagate subject got a community guidelines violation. The conspiracy theory Pizzagate alleged that top Democrats were running a child sex trafficking ring, which they are, but it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans, and the rich capitalist pigs in general. Because dozens of emails dropped today in the Epstein files release include references to pizzas and burgers, thanking Epstein for the pizzas and looking forward to the next pizza party. Donald Trump auctioned children at Pedophile Island, entered their vaginas in front of Elon Musk, and rated their tightness. Trump had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Epstein would bring the children in, and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by putting his hand's finger into the children's vaginas and rated their tightness, the guest including Elon Musk, Don Jr., Trump, and Ivanka Trump and other rich old men. Now I see why Musk was supporting Trump so hard and saying they'll all go to jail if he loses. Musk knew he was wrapping girls with Trumpstein. Tech billionaire and racist Nepo baby Elon Musk appeared to want to visit disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein's private island and demanded to be at the wildest party, even though the host was already a convicted sex offender. Elon Musk asked Epstein when the wildest party would take place on the financier's island, according to emails released in the latest batch of files. The Tesla chief executive told the financier that he wanted to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. Epstein asked how many people Musk would bring with him to Little St. James, the financier's island, and promised to send heli for Musk. It is unclear if the visit took place. Elon Musk has maintained he never visited Epstein's island, but birds of a feather flock together. Trump make America great again cult tried to diminish this grab them by the pussy statement just for it to come out that he was literally grabbing children by the pussy. The White House said the allegations are unfounded and false, and said the Epstein investigation has been weaponized against Trump. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald J. Trump, the unverified account continues. Forced to allow them to pernitrate sick us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. Resurfaced photos from legal documents related to Jeffrey Epstein show him posing with Winnie the Pooh and Piglet characters at Walt Disney World, sparking significant public backlash. Photos show a stark contrast between the wholesome, family-oriented atmosphere of the theme park and the disgraced financier. The scene included a young girl whose face was obscured. In a separate incident, messages from 2023 revealed that former J.P. Morgan executive Jess Staley used references to Disney princesses when communicating with Epstein, which added to the unsettling nature of the connection between Epstein and the Disney brand. The documents show that Bannon, a fascist who served as a strategist in Trump's first term, bantered over politics with Epstein, discussed get-togethers with him over meals, and in March 2019 asked Epstein if he could supply his plane to pick up Bannon in Rome. In December 2012, Epstein invited Howard Lutnick, the Wall Street billionaire who is now Trump's commerce secretary, to his island for lunch, the records show. Lutnick's wife accepted the invitation and said they would arrive on a yacht with their children. On another occasion in 2011, the men had drinks, according to a schedule shared with Epstein, photographs showing Britain's former Prince Andrew kneeling on all fours over a woman lying on the ground. Jay-Z's name has surfaced in newly released Justice Department documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, reigniting online debate. The records include FBI hotline reports from 2019 that also mention Pusha T and Harvey Weinstein. While the names do not appear in Epstein's verified logs, the allegations outlined in public complaints have sparked fresh scrutiny. But are you really surprised, though? He was best friends with P. Diddy and R. Kelly, two pedophiles and predators, and he has allegations of grooming Beyonce. Files claim Bill Gates caught a STD from Russian girls and hookers. Epstein sent himself a draft email on July 18, 2013, which included lurid and unsubstantiated allegations about the billionaire Microsoft founder. The email is written as if Epstein was resigning from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, even though he did not hold a formal position there. Based on this and other references in the text of the email, it is believed he was drafting the email in the voice of a former senior employee of Gates at their eponymous charitable foundation. There is no indication that the former employee had any knowledge of what Epstein was doing. In the email, Epstein wrote, "I have been caught up in a severe marital dispute between Melinda and Bill. In my role as his right-hand man, I have been asked and wrongly acquiesced into participating in things that have ranged from the morally inappropriate to the ethically unsound, and have been repeatedly asked to do things that get near and potentially over the line into the illegal. From helping Bill to get drugs in order to deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls, to facilitating his illicit trusts with married women, to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tour amps, as I am a medical doctor, but have no prescriptions writing ability." A spokesman for Gates responded to Friday's allegations, telling the BBC, "These claims from a proven, disgruntled liar are absolutely absurd and completely false. Let me remind all of you that this billionaire scumbag, this is just some of the true crimes he is involved in. A select group of billionaires met in semi-secrecy in May 2009 to find answers to overpopulation. The self-styled Good Group included Microsoft founder Bill Gates, media mogul Ted Turner, David Rockefeller Jr., and financiers George Soros and Warren Buffett. The overpopulation myth, economic fluctuations, and environmental damage are products of capitalism, products of a system in pursuit of profit, which has been incapable of meeting the needs of the world's population at any time in its history, regardless of the number of people living on the planet. Another real problem is that those who bleat about overpopulation, under the banner of concern for the environment or worry about poverty and food shortages, are actually blaming ordinary people for the starkly visible crisis that our world faces. This displaced blame gives cover to governments and the ruling class across the globe who orchestrate frenzied debates about population growth in order to pretend that they're taking economic and environmental crisis, which they play a central role in creating, seriously, while doing nothing to address the very real economic and environmental threats facing the world today. Bill Gates quietly seizes total control of U.S. water supply. Billionaire drools that citizens will be on their best behavior under constant AI surveillance. Bill Gates defends free speech unless it hurts his big pharma investments. Bill Gates. By 2021, Bill Gates had become the largest single owner of farmland in the U.S., according to the Land Report, through a web of holding companies. By January 2021, Gates owned 268,984 acres of U.S. farmland in 18 states, GMO potatoes, and McDonald's French fries Snopes. Fact check. Verified that Gates does own a farm in Washington that grows potatoes for McDonald's. None of fact checkers addressed Gates' growing investments in U.S. farmland or the use of pesticides on non-organic potatoes, and none questioned why someone who promotes himself as concerned about global health would supply ingredients for a product known to contribute to cardiovascular conditions and weight gain. How Warren Buffett and Bill Gates make so much money off the childhood obesity epidemic. Warren Buffett's vertically integrated investments in the production of high-fructose corn syrup, a key ingredient in highly processed foods and contributor to obesity in kids, generates massive profits for himself and Bill Gates. Philanthropy is a scam. The super-rich capitalist pigs often claim their philanthropy is meant to change the world. But it's really meant to keep it exactly the way it is. Bill Gates apologized for his ties with Jeffrey Epstein even as he downplayed their relationship. That's self-serving nonsense. Their friendship was a grotesque demonstration of what happens when you give a small group of people unfathomable wealth and power. It's impossible to overstate how disingenuous this is. The years-long connection Gates cultivated with Epstein, and vice versa, can hardly be described as a momentary oopsie. Epstein wanted to get rid of his show animals and suggested just killing them. The amount of wealthy men in positions of power who are sexually attracted to children is beyond disturbing.